Hey, this is Nate from Fun, and you are watching Noise 11.
Welcome to Noise 11. We are here with Nate Ruess from Fun. Hey, man.
Hello.
I was just getting a bit more excited then than I needed to be. Just came from Japan. Sorry, we don't have any Kit Kats for you.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, you didn't do it though, did you?
Do what?
The Kit Kat taste test.
I did it.
Oh, I saw a photo. I thought it was Andrew.
Maybe they like to take pictures of one another. I don't like to take pictures at all.
Right. You're photogenic.
No, I've got I don't need you to zoom in, but I've got like a weird like little rash happening right now on my face.
Well, as well you should. You've been working very hard. Where'd you pick that one up? Germany or Tokyo
yeah,
or
probably. It's definitely a sad rash. But
right.
Most rashes are.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You've got an allergy to sad.
Yeah.
That's no good. Are you getting culture shock though? Because you really has it been the last week you've been to Japan,
last
Germany,
like 3 weeks. It was
France,
yeah,
Australia.
everywhere.
It's nuts.
But it's pretty amazing. I can't believe that we get to do this. Bands generally don't get an opportunity like this because, first of all, it's hard to break anywhere. Second, touring is near impossible because it costs you so much money, and you probably haven't broken, and you probably never will. So when the song started popping off across the globe, we like jumped at the opportunity. This basically. Jack and I didn't get to go to college, and the three of us definitely never had any sort of semester abroad type of situation. So we're hoping to not even make it like a semester abroad. We want the world to be smaller for us. We want to just like be able to come anywhere. And here in Australia has been, I love every place, but this has been like something completely different altogether, especially just considering the success that we've had here.
Yeah, what did you get? A multi-platinum plaque I saw a photo of at Warner's?
Yeah, we've gotten some plaques too along the way.
Yeah. Okay, well, obviously we're talking about We Are Young. I feel like this year's been an interesting year for number ones, because it was number one here, it was number one in the States. Gotcha was number one. Carly Rae Jepsen, that's a very, very, very catchy pop song.
Yeah.
But Gotcha, that's an odd song to be number one, I feel. And I also feel that We're Young is an odd song. It's slow. It
changes tempo. The lyrics aren't exactly, hey, I just met you. This is crazy. So, yeah.
So were you surprised that people have embraced it so much? I mean, it's catchy as hell and it's anthemic, sure, but I just feel like there's a lot of catchy as hell anthemic songs that are also, more chart friendly with your pace and the clip and all that sort of stuff. I just figured it seems a surprise to me.
Yeah. I mean, we're all shocked about it. We're really, really surprised because I was signed to a major label when I was 18 and dropped, and somewhere along the way in my last band, like we started getting a really great cult following, and that came from just being ourselves, moving to the beat of our own drum and playing a whole bunch of live shows. And the concept of ever having a hit song like went out the window then because that just, it seems very, very fickle and very fleeting. And to be able to have done this for 12 years now, and never really feel like I've had a moment where it started to go down. Like,
are you bracing for it?
Of course.
I mean, you can't get any higher. What is it? You got your second number one as well with Some Nights, so.
And that's really just like okay, cool, I'm done.
That's reassuring though, because you can't ever be picked as a one-hit wonder now. You've had two hits.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm even cool with the one-hit wonder thing. I mean, I think I'm so confident in what we do as artists, not as chart toppers, but as artists, that people just need to come to the show. Because it's a whole different experience. They're going to get something else and live with the album. They're going to get so much more gratification out of that. And I don't care if we lose, millions of people along the way. But as long as we can hold on to some people, I think that we're doing something right. And I want this band to be as big as possible. So if this is what it's going to be, then hopefully we can stay here as long as possible.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask you about Jeff Bhasker, because I thought that story was really interesting. The fact that you'd been listening to a lot of hip hop, you saw his name popping up on all the credits of the albums that you loved, and went, this guy. He was surprised. You're the first rock band that he's dealt with, right?
Yeah.
It must have been a really nice experience for you to, I don't know, just get to know each other and get to know each other's styles as well. It would have been, was there any head clashing? I feel like there wouldn't have been. I feel like it would have just been a nice little discovery period putting the album together. No,
there was some head clashing. Jeff had to learn how to work with me, I think specifically. Because the other two guys, that was what made this album a lot easier for us as a band. Was people got used to how it is that I work, which is I come up with songs in my head, and then like I hear them almost wholly. So we try and figure that out together as a group. I don't play an instrument, so I have to sing them and explain them, and then it kind of takes its own life from there. And then the other two guys get their hands on it, and it does this and that. And so there are crazy things like there are. For as easy as We Are Young, the other two guys hadn't even heard it. I sang it for Jeff, and he and I went into the studio the next day and started working on it. And he just heard it automatically. Some Nights is the prime example of where like those guys are just incredible at what they do, especially on this album, because I sang them the song and said, it's going to start out with this crazy vocal harmony, and it's going to go like this, and I sang it, and then it's going to go into this beat, and then there's going to be a talking part, I'm just going to say some things, and like blah, 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 and usually people would be like, you're crazy. Like Jeff was like, you're insane. Like this just isn't going to work. And I didn't even have to say anything. Andrew and Jack were just like, no, it's going to work. Like, and this is how it's going to work. And they really spearheaded like making it happen. And I had to kind of butt heads with Jeff a little bit and just say like, I guarantee you that if you give this song some time, it's going to be your favorite song on the album. And sure enough, like by the time we finished the album, it was his favorite song. Was his way of working is to minimize? I got the impression that he's sort of like, okay, strip it down to the essential elements, and fun. There's a lot of theatre in the way you write songs, and so I thought that's maybe where a clash might come. No, because that was something that we wanted to do. We wanted to do the less is more approach on this album in the first place. And so we thought that Jeff would be perfect because that is kind of his vibe. So we had to learn how to listen to him. And I think that's one of the things that made this album really, really special is we were in a place where we were willing to listen.
There's a huge cast on this album. I was looking at this thing, I was going, Jesus. I mean, it's as much of it's the three of you and Jeff. It's all these other people. Were you marshalling these people in and out of the studio as it went along?
It was pretty nuts. It was funny because it was I don't know what happened in like that.
Get out of control, didn't it?
It was 3 weeks, and
you had all those people in within 3 weeks.
Well, and then we spent. I remember. Then we spent forever mixing it there. We spent 3 weeks in Los Angeles doing with Jeff. We did the another 3 songs in New York City with this producer Emil Haney, who did like Lana Del Rey and Kid Cudi, stuff like that. So we probably spent a total of about a week with him, and then I flew out to Los Angeles to work to mix with Jeff, and I was supposed to stay out there for 4 days and I ended up staying for 3 weeks. And I think in that time, like we ushered in a few people here and there.
Oh, so got a lot of embellishing after the fact.
Kind of, yeah. Just adding a few things.
A few things.
I mean, there's a lot of shit.
How does this replicate live? Because I saw a review of it, which I thought was interesting, as they were saying, I think it's a little bit too polished, it's a little bit too over the top, but I thought this about another band. I can't remember what it was. And they said, I thought this about another band. And when I saw them live, it all made sense to me. That's where the edges were rougher and all that sort of thing. How do you put these, how do you get that sort of same grandiosity live with just the three of you?
There's 6 of us on stage.
That answers my question.
That should answer your question. Yeah, there's 6 of us. And I mean, we like to put on a show. Like coming from a punk rock scene, like growing up in a punk rock scene where it was just as much based on energy as it was musicality. I think that Jack definitely approaches it the same way that I do, which is think about those punk rock shows or like a band like At the Drive-In. When I saw them when I was a kid, like just like doing bouncing off the walls doing backflips. I thought that was so cool, and it's a lot like even the Rolling Stones, and Mick Jagger, people doing that, Freddie Mercury, just putting out energy, and fortunately every single person in our band is they're just incredible musicians, so they're able to find a balance within that.
I figured that you could let the audience do a little bit of the work because everything is sing along.
Well,
so I figured you could just go, all right, and let's start, and just give it to the audience the whole time, right?
Yeah, that happens a lot. I think that it's important that happens, and that was something that was really special for us in the States. Is you like our demographic for shows even before any of this album came out. Our demographic was just like any age and everybody singing. And it was interesting to see how different cultures, like going overseas, seeing how different countries did. And
yeah, you tweeted, or someone tweeted something about how crazy the Japanese shows were, and I thought that there was the Japanese were very polite during the songs and uproarious in between them.
I think that they weren't that wasn't like the case for us. I once had a friend who had played in Japan call me before I went to Japan in my old band and say, "You're not going to believe it. They're the coolest audience. They go crazy as soon as you're done with songs. But the second you say a word in between a song, like it just goes dead silent." And he's like, "You're going to be so excited when it happens." So we get out there. We're just there to play one show. Fortunately, it's like a sold out show. And we're spending like the week there because for press and my birthday and stuff like that. And right before we get up on stage, one of the people from our label just goes, "Now remember, everybody will tell you good show, but it's what they say behind your back that matters."
Right.
"Now have a good show." And it was just like, okay, all right. Somehow we walk out there, we finish the first few songs, and I'm about to say something to the crowd, and I'm like, here it comes. Like there's the crazy clapping, and I say like one word, it gets dead silent. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Before I could even say another word, I just hear, "What's up? We're from the States!" Like someone in the back, like these drunk people from the United States were at the show, and they just completely just pissed on the culture. Decided to just like start, like they were drunk. I think they were offended that people were being as silent as they were.
Hadn't they even never been to a show, obviously, over there?
I guess not. And so that kind of that threw us completely off our game. The next day, we had a full day of press, and the questions were like, first half of show, amazing. Second half, what happened? And so it was like, oh my gosh, these people are tough. But Australia's been amazing. Like, has been probably my favorite, just as far as the crowd reaction. Just the
we're
singing.
Very, very thankful that people get all the way out here. It's a long way to come.
That's what I heard, but I just quit smoking, so I don't care about the plane rides anymore.
Oh, right. That was an interesting, obtuse angle to take on it. We're still thankful,
Well, no, now I'm just going to show up all the time.
Oh, is that the idea?
Because it used to be, you'd have to fly, and you'd think like I would just be
nicotine
like,
patches, man, isn't that?
I'm not using anything now. Well, I'm getting an electronic cigarette, but I would never do that. So I spent most of my time like just miserable on like long flights. Now it seems like really relaxing. I enjoy it.
Oh, I'm about to go on a long flight. I'll keep that in mind. As long as I quit smoking in between times.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, all right. Before we go, I wanted to ask you, going back to We Are Young, was on a lot of things, ads, TV shows, movies. What was the most appropriate insertion of the song, did you feel, that you've seen? I mean, I presume you haven't seen them all, because there's been a lot.
This is a good question.
Like, which director got it?
I think they've all gotten it for the most part. It seems like I'm surprised that it works itself in so seamlessly. And I'm going to say that the Super Bowl commercial was probably the most impressive. But at the same time, those are like ad people, and they're kind of geniuses in their own right.
Yeah.
There's even a television show about ad people.
There's an evil genius to them. Are you talking about Mad Men?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
There is an evil genius to it that I didn't really fully understand until that happened, because at first we were like, yeah, the song hadn't necessarily like gone off yet, and so
after Glee though, this is post Glee.
Yeah, this is after Glee, but the song was doing really well. Like our version was starting to pop off, and they asked us to to do the Chevy commercial, and we thought like, a car commercial, that's going to be really, really weird.
But millions of people, potential fans, are going to see it and think, ooh.
We didn't have the Super Bowl yet.
Oh.
So it was just a car commercial. And so we were like, we just like took a leap of faith and said, okay, well, let's just do it. And when the first roll came back, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that a car commercial somehow, like the song fits it and it's effective. And I want this car.
Did you get a car?
No. And then to see it, they thought it was such a good commercial and that the placement was so good that they decided that they wanted to put it in the Super Bowl thereafter. And I think that it was beneficial to everyone.
Yes, it's beneficial to everyone. Excellent.
Except for you.
So no, I'm too punk rock for this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, is that so?
No.
Should we turn the microphone?
No, I think I've come to the realization now that it's a necessary evil, just like ads. All right, look, I'm going to let you go on that note, that positive note. But
Yes.
Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Likewise.